Hey everybody, so this is a video specifically for a YouTube channel called Tribe Accelerator. Excuse me, and I think he's a good dude, man. Like, again, I like to read energy. I don't like to, it's just something I do automatically. And I pick up a lot of good energy from him. So this is, I'm nothing against him or anything. I just, from somebody, he just made a short talking about how one of the best things you can do in a social situation is to say as little as possible. And I get the mentality that I get why he said that, but I'm somebody who spent the majority of my adult life in social situations doing exactly what he's telling people to do. And I have no friends. So it's not accurate. There's a balance to everything. It's good to know when to shut the fuck up and not to boast your own ego and continue to talk about yourself, and to be aware when it's like, hey, I'm sitting here just talking to a crowd or even just one person. It's all just me. Like it's important to know when you're pushing that and you're not caring about it all about what the other person's like. You have to be able to like look at yourself and be like, hey, am I just speaking about myself just to speak about myself and just to boost my own ego, my own energy, my own power, and to project it onto somebody else? Or am I just really trying to open up and share with who I am with somebody? And I feel like they're listening. And I feel like that's another thing too. Like, read your audience. Are they intrigued by what you're saying? Because like that's not always bad. Like if somebody's got some good shit to say, I don't mind listening to them, But if they're just speaking from a place where they just want to boast their own ego and talk about all these beautiful things that they've done, or even just things that they've accomplished and all this type of shit, then I don't want to hear that. But if they've really got something good to say that I feel is good for me and possibly other people, maybe all of life, I don't think there's anything wrong with letting that person speak. But again, it's all about your intent and what you're choosing to speak. I've been felt like an alien here for like pretty much my whole fucking life. So like I'm around this whole society that just wants to talk about themselves largely. So a lot of the time I've just been here listening to people speak about themselves, and I have said very little because I don't have that desire to want to sit here and boast about myself. That just doesn't seem right to me or good to me, or it's something I really like to do. So I'll just be quiet. So I spent most of my life just being quiet and listening to other people, and essentially just like I hear what they say and I just try to feed a little bit into their conversation to let them just do what the fuck they want to do, because it's like I'm just like somewhere completely else. I don't feel like people really understand or even want to relate to what I really have to say, which is why I found my outlet on YouTube, because here I can just say whatever I want to a phone, and I upload it on the internet, and whoever wants to watch is their choice to watch. This is why I like, using a journal. It's a lot like a journal, except this way I'm sharing it with my, it's me expressing myself with just myself because there's nobody else here, but it's also me sharing it with the rest of the world, which I think is good. But in my experience, holding back, like you see, because if you continue to operate like that, you're going to start perpetuating emotion for yourself to where you don't express yourself. You don't speak up. You may choose to, not say things when you feel a certain way. And I don't think that's a repression, which is dangerous. It can lead to depression. It can lead to just you not also being able, like, art and all this type of stuff is all about your ability to express yourself and how you feel. But there's different ways of expressing yourself. You can express yourself from, like I said, that egotistical, all about me and how good I am and all this and that. Or you can do so just like, hey man, this is the good, this is the bad, this is everything in between, who I am, this is where I want to go, this is where I've been from. Like there's different ways of expression. There's different things that you can choose to speak on. There's different ways of communication and socializing. And like I said, it's important to also have that discernment to know, like when you're speaking to, like I can feel it, like there's a change in me energetically when I start speaking about myself and like my skills or with the powers or all these type of things that I have. I can feel a different energy or spirit come upon myself, which I don't think is healthy, which I do think is feeding my lower self, and that isn't good. But that doesn't mean you don't have to speak like that. You can speak from a different place that actually helps bring about people together in a collaborative way. And you can also use your eyes and your mind and your heart to notice and look at your audience, and perhaps you see somebody who may be feeling a little outcasted and not fitting in, and like maybe like they have something to say but they're a little anxious about speaking up. Maybe encourage that person to speak up, and let them know it's like quote unquote safe place, meaning like, dude, like we're not gonna make fun of you, because that's where a lot of the fear comes in. People don't want to speak up because they're afraid of being made fun of. They're afraid of not being misunderstood, and it's not only just. It's like when you open up in your heart, like the most beautiful things that you have inside your soul, the stuff that you would die for, the stuff that you think about before you're going to die, or when you imagine you're about to die and people make fun of you for it, that shit hurts, bro. That shit takes away hope to want to live. This is why I think a lot of people like myself especially don't want to speak up because they're so afraid of being made fun of. They're so afraid of not fitting in. They're so afraid of just getting shat on for expressing nothing but beautiful love, you know. And I don't think there's anything wrong in doing that, you know, because that's literally something that's helping to perpetuate more love for everybody and everything. And that's a beautiful thing that somebody's trying to share with the rest of the world. And it's really done, if it's really done out of love, then it's really just done. I mean, that's a gesture of wanting to connect with other people's love, which is what we all are at the end of the day, at different levels and frequencies, but it's where we all come from. So in my experience as somebody who's spent a lot of time doing exactly what Tribe Accelerator suggests that people do to help them in a social situation, I gotta say that yes, there is a time to be quiet, and it's not good to continue to boast your own ego, but you do need to learn how to speak your own voice and know who you are, because we all have a voice, we all have fingerprints, we all have things to say and share. And a lot of people don't want to speak up right now for whatever reason. A lot of it, there's tons of reasons, but my point is, what I found when I really speak from a place that's authentic to my soul, and also from a place that wants to help the rest of humanity and myself along the way, but not in a fucking arrogant way. And when I am arrogant, I try to call myself out on it because I don't want to be that way anymore. The better off I am, the happier I feel about myself, and the better I feel about dying and moving on, the better I feel about completing my part of this mission too. So, all right, I just wanted to share it with you guys. Y'all have a good day. Love y'all. Bye.